Hi there, this is Barb Binder with Rocky Mountain Training. I'm an Adobe certified instructor on FrameMaker, and in this video I'd like to show you how you can add landscape pages to a portrait document. The typical reason I do this is that I'm given a table that's too big to fit on a portrait page. Let's say it has 30 columns. If I try to put it into a regular portrait page, I'm not going to have enough space to make the text big enough to read. So my solution is to rotate the page clockwise and then put the table on that rotated page. There's other reasons to do that, but that's my typical reason. And here's how you do it. Let's go to the View menu and come down to the Master Pages. This document has 3 master pages, a default left and a default right master, and then one for the first page. Before I create my new master page, I need to know what size and position the current template frames are using. So I'll click in either the left or the right template frame, and I'm going to go up and check the numbers. Format menu, Customize Layout, Customize Text Frame, Dimensions, and I'm going to write down that the current position has a top offset of 72 and a left offset of 62. Those are the margins. And the size, 336 points by 416 points. I'll jot that down and then I'll cancel. When I'm ready to create a new master page, I can be on either of these pages, but I'm going to go to the special menu and I'm going to add a new master page. The first one I'm going to add is going to be a landscape right page, and I'll call it Landscape R. And I'll copy the initial settings from the right master, and I'll pick Add. There it is. The next step is to rotate it clockwise, and that's Format Menu, Customize Layout, Rotate Page Clockwise. And you can see the page has now been turned on its side. The headers and footers are great, just where they should be, but I need to rotate the frame here. And the easiest way I found to do that is actually just to delete that frame. I'm going to select it and delete it. And then I'll go add a new text frame. And I can try to draw it in the right size and position, but I never get it right exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw any old size. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a new flow tag. I don't want my wide tables, my landscape tables, to flow onto a portrait page, so I'll give them a separate flow tag, and that keeps that from happening. I'll click Add. And then I'm going to use my Format menu, Customize Layout, Customize Text Frame to enter in the numbers I jotted down earlier. The top offset should now be 62. The left offset should now be 72. The width should be 416. And the height should be 336. I'm inversing those numbers from what I saw earlier. I'll click Apply, and that looks perfect. Now, if I'm just going to have one table and it's going to go on a right-hand page, I'm good to go. But I don't know that. So I might need to have a landscape left and a landscape right. Before I create the other master, I'm going to be smart and I'm going to copy this frame. Then I'll go to the special menu. I'll come down to Add Master Page. I'll call it Landscape Left. I'll copy it from the left master and add. Rotate it clockwise. I'll delete this template frame and I'll paste the one I copied from the other page using the B tag again. Now, as I zoom out, you can see that my document has 5 master pages. Here's my default left master, here's my default right master. This is a custom first page master for the first page of the document. And now here are the 2 landscape pages. There's one called Landscape Right, that's this one, and one called Landscape Left. The master pages are done. Now, if I want to use them, I go back to the View menu and back to my body pages. And I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Let's say I want to put a table in front of page 5, so I'll scroll down looking for page 5. There it is. And I'm going to insert a landscape page in front of page 5. The command for that is Special Menu, Add Disconnected Pages. And I want to give you a stern warning about using this command. You only want to use it when you need it. I know a lot of new users think this is the only way to add content to their documentation. FrameMaker will automatically add pages when you add content. You don't have to ever add disconnected pages. Here's a situation where you want to, but normally this is not a command that you want to pick. This time though you're allowed to. So I'm going to go ahead and say add disconnected pages. I want to add one page before page 5, one before page 5, and I want to use a master page called Landscape Right, because this page 5 is going to be a right-hand page. So I'll go ahead and pick Add, and it gives me another warning. I gave you a warning, now it's giving me a warning saying, you sure you want to do this? This one time I'm going to say okay, and there it is. There's the page. Now the example I gave for doing this command is the idea that I might have a really wide table. So say I go to the table menu and I insert a table, 30 columns, that's great, 10 rows, one heading row, one footing row. When I pick insert, there's the information just as necessary. And if I zoom in and I do a little bit of typing, put a couple numbers in here, here's a 1 and a 2, you can see that this is rotated in a way that I can actually read it. I think I should hide my text symbols. There we go. So 1, 2, 3. And as I zoom back out again, if I were actually reading the document, then I could see that my text is visible to me while I'm working. And when the file is printed, it's going to turn back and be the right orientation, but I can turn my book around to read it, which is just exactly what I'm looking for. That's how to create landscape pages inside a portrait document. Definitely solves a problem in my workflow.